Welcome back, everyone, to the Bravo stream here as we get ready for our next matchup. It's going to be Oxygen Esports taking on Native Red, two teams that we have seen on this stage before, and oh boy, are we in for a potential giga banger. I'm Golden Boy, of course, joined by the legend, the one, the only, why not be casting? It's Tony Rose. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. My first time on the big world stage, and I'm excited to be here, man. Excited.
Dude, yeah,
to be casting
congratulations, man. Seriously, I just want to take a moment, folks at home, if you don't mind, give Tony his flowers. This guy has been on the scene, grinding, busting his butt, and he is here. First year casting HCS at a world championship. It's very well deserved, my friend.
It's an honor. It really is, and hopefully many more to come.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. But look, guys, we have a great matchup, in our midst here because Oxygen versus Native is a match, Tony, that we have seen before, and these two teams are a lot closer than some people may not think, especially if they're not too privy to how good Oxygen is.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a rematch from Pool Play. I believe it was Pool B back at Orlando, where Native Red were able to win out 3-2 over Oxygen Esports. Now, keep in mind, during the tiebreakers, Oxygen was able to secure that second seed and eventually get a top 8 finish. Native Red finish out top 12 in that tournament.
Yeah, it was a bit of a heartbreaker here, but here's the series layout. You got Recharge, Oddball to kick things off. Then we're going to be taking it over to some Aquarius Slayer. And then we're going to go shopping over at the Bazaar for some Capture the Flag. And then we go to the streets for Slayer Strongholds and Live Fire Slayer to close things out if necessary. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's going to be quite necessary because I'm calling it right now, Tony. I'm Babe Ruth at the plate, shooting my shot. We're going to 5.
It went to game 5 before, so why not go to game 5 again, especially with game number 1 being a curveball. Oddball isn't a favorite for either one of these teams, to be honest. It's really counterintuitive to their play style, so really excited to see who's going to come out hot in his game number 1, and I guess we won't have to wait long. Recharge Oddball
There we go. Here we go, folks. This is going to be a great matchup. Make sure you tell your friends because it is about to go down. Native Red looking to not just, get that win that they got last time, but also do it in a fashion that there is no doubt in their mind that these two teams, that Native Red rather, has that upper hand. But Oxygen knows that they can very well walk away with this win. This group in general is really a bit of a toss-up because you don't really know who is going to come out on the winning end there.
Same thing as Pool B back at Orlando. I mean, it's almost like history is repeating itself right now. And now the question is now, can not only Native Red win this matchup, but hold on to a top seed? Because the problem with them really is consistency when it comes into these LAN tournaments.
Yeah, and you're going to need consistency at a Halo World Championship. But already, though, we're seeing Native Red strike first. And don't let the screen fool you. Oxygen's going to be the top seed. Native Red will be blue. So they will be blue, but their name is Red. So I know that for my dyslexia, it does affect me. But there are a lot of great players across the board here. Players that, we have seen really shine this year in Halo Infinite, and their careers are only going to continue to flourish with how they're playing and how they're growing here, Tony. That has been the most impressive thing, in my opinion, for both of these squads.
And not only great players on Native Red, but also you have Collect on screen. Collect really a last minute or last second pickup onto this Oxygen Esports roster as Talek ends up putting him down quickly, switching on board to Talek goes down himself. Both of these teams really fighting for that control, but I would say keep your eyes out on Talek of Native Red, and then I would say Triton of Oxygen Esports. Those are your two consistent slayers on each squad.
Yeah, and they could very well make their presence felt here in this game. Now, Bohem is going to have this ball. Bringing it over toward Hydro is a real smart play. If you're going to get pressured at any point in time, you can dump that ball off on the other side. It's called a play ball for any new viewers that are tuning in here for the World Championship, and then the ball resets at the center of the map right where it starts at the beginning of the game. But watch out, though, for this player right here, Triton. He's got that shock, he's got that camo, he's looking to put it to use.
So not only does Oxygen Esports have the ball, but they also have active camouflage and shockwave for having all the utilities on the map. How is Native Red going to break this setup as Triton connecting shots, earning himself a killing spree? We're seeing Oxygen really start to push Native Red back while accumulating all of this ball time.
Yeah. Ooh, beautiful shot from Triton as he finds Talek in the sky, caught looking. Also, Soul Snipe, goodbye, my friend. One with your soul there as he sent back to the respawn. There's going to be some pressure coming in from Druck, but Nemesis is there to receive it. And Triton with this shock rifle is going to make this push from the Mangler side here going to be very difficult. And that's the reason why you can see these players weakened. But maybe this could be an opportunity now for Native Red. They just have to be very cautious while they push this. Wait for those shields to come back, though. And oh no! He actually is able to put his feet back on the ground because of the ramp, and he's able to stabilize himself and keep himself alive.
Finally, Native Red able to get the squad wipe they were looking for, forcing Oxygen Esports to play that ball, but the damage has been done. Look at that scoreboard. It is not pretty on the side of Native Red. Now trying to rotate that ball to the long haul side, but excellent pressure come out of Oxygen Esports to slow them down just a bit. Both teams will be fighting over that ball.
Yeah, but the thing is, the ball's going to be out in a little bit of a no man's land here, right? And I'm really looking to Druck to just be the difference maker on this cut, to get that cross shot, to see where that ball is and put the shots down on any players that are going to go for it. Collector's going to be privy to this, and that's why he's playing back the way that he is. He's waiting for the prime opportunity to push. He's got teammates over toward Elevator. They've cleared that player there as well, which means that now it's going to be Collect against the near full might of Native Red as they're looking to make this push toward gold, but Druck is completely unaware and gets shot from behind.
And with them clearing out that gold side and that Elevator side, you're seeing the spawn start to get favorable for Oxygen Esports. Native Red now spawning on the opposite side of the map. Collect doing a great job of holding on the gold side. Native Red are having a tough time getting the slays they're looking for, let alone ball time.
Yeah, they really are, and it really is about positioning, but also being able to attain some of these power items. And so far, so good for Oxygen. Nemesis picks up the camo, and he also had the support from Bohem there as well. So even if Nemesis died with that item, it would have been fine because Bohem either would have taken out the player that was going at him or would have picked up the camo himself. Instead, you don't really need to worry too much about that. Player does go down, so you don't really feel the effectiveness of that particular item, but that is something that Native Red would have loved to have been able to obtain because it could have given them a slight advantage here to break these setups.
No advantage for Native Red, and Oxygen Esports doing a great job of being so patient before going for the ball, making sure they secure the kills, but Druck is going to take one's life. Going after his former teammate in Collect, and now we're seeing Druck quickly go over to the gold side, trying to stay alive. Repulsing back, gets the melee, but can't stay alive.
He tried to do the same thing again, the old melee and repulsor combo, because you don't give that your opponent that opportunity to hit the melee yourself when you repulse them away after that melee goes through. So very well done that we saw it happen beforehand, and now we're starting to see here is that ball's playing around gold. You have Oxygen, they have eyes on it, they know exactly where it is, but the problem is that you got guys like Talik that are going to be bringing that ball over toward gold pipes. But he's going to be dealing with at least two players here from Native Red. Big win, though, as Druck is actually going to be there to help out Talik, and they get that stop. A double kill, though. Druck with the triple kill. Give it to the boy here at the World Championship. Give him the over. What? He gets the overkill. Druck is on fire.
Don't challenge this man. Absolutely going on, putting the team on his back. There was a giant lead in favor of Oxygen Esports, but because of Druck and Native Red's resilience, they might just end up coming right back.
That was beautifully done. If Druck continues to play like that all weekend long, hope everyone's taking notice here because my boy's looking to win a championship. That being said, though, the eye has to be on the prize, and the objective is the ball. You could slay all you want. We saw that happen in the last series with Cloud9, that, you know, even though they were getting outslayed, they were still holding the objective, and that's kind of the same situation here. They have to break this. They have 3 seconds to do so. Triton's going to be dangerously low, but he plays a little bit of jungle gym, and he gets around the entirety of Native Red, who were on the hunt, Tony.
You know, he like Steph Curry. Not only can he shoot, but he got the handles. He'll cross him up real quick. As Oxygen Esports going up 1-0 in rounds. Great job for them really making a statement in this round number 1. They do not fear Native Red. They might have lost back in Orlando, but they're going for the win today.
Yeah, they really are, and what a break as well. A real clean start for Collect. He's actually able to pick up 3 kills at the start here. The only 3 kills that have gone down have been in favor of Collect, all because of that opening start that they had, right? Their opening strat, and they're going to bring that ball over toward the Hydro side. They're playing this so well. The position game has been unreal, and just look at the effectiveness. Every single time someone goes to create space, that player's weakened, and then someone's there to clean it up from Oxygen.
You talked about how important those opening strats can be. Oxygen Esports not only having that ball in hands, but quickly wiping Native Red. This is 26 unanswered points, and it might go to about 35 here before Native Red even claims some kind of real estate on the map.
Crazy to think as well that the guns for Native Red, they're firing true. They they are hitting their shots, but it really boils down to just that positioning game here, right? And that is where you're starting to see the success come through for Oxygen Esports. That said, though, opportunity now for Native. You have a teammate, Manny, with that ball. He's going to try and bring this one over toward Long Haul, and Druck's on fire, so he's going to be hitting those perfects all day.
Another 3 down, this time in favor of Native Red as opposed to being done to them, but 40% of the work already almost done here for Oxygen Esports. 1 round away from taking game number 1 and ultimately momentum in the series. Druck going to try to move that ball backwards, but it looks like Oxygen are surrounded. They're suffocating them. They're not allowing Native to breathe.
No, not at all. You know, and I think it is apropos that they are called Oxygen because they're stealing all of the oxygen in this game. Native Red have just had absolutely no opportunity. Just when you think that there is an opening there, just when you think that Native can get that ball, right, and Druck is making these plays, he ends up getting flanked from Blue Hall, and that is just something that I'm shocked that no one had called out. No one had vision on that.
Camouflage being snatched away by Boom. Get over here. As he grabs it over towards himself, the ball being played off the map.
No one knows he's here.
Looks like Oxygen Esports end up going 3 down, so now Boom, he wants to make plays with his camo, but he's the only player alive for his teammate. Meanwhile, Native Red going in for the setup.
He's getting so much info because no one can see him. Oh, ooh, you don't want to miss those, buddy. That is unfortunate, but it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us, okay? Just going to be call a spade, okay? How many shock rifle shots have you missed when the player was standing still?
I've never missed a shock rifle shot in my life.
You filthy liar.
Not a single one.
You absolute liar.
Nah, I'm not Boom. I hit my shots.
But that being said, though, man, you still got to put the eyes on the objective. And right now, it is going to be Native Red looking to bring that ball back into their possession. They have been able to accrue a decent amount of points here, right? Sitting at 37, but they do not have the positioning to be able to make this push. They got to wait for these players to get into that spot, and you also need to wait for this cross here. Just a good dump, playing ball in the middle of the map. Doesn't reset it, but it sets it in a neutral position that's going to be hard to grab.
And now both of these teams having to fight over the map control. 3 down go Native Red, so Oxygen winning that numbers advantage, and you know how objective efficient they are. Right on the ball they go. 70 points in counting. If Native Red don't find the answer soon, they're going down 0-1.
Yeah, and wild to think that this is just round 1. Feels like we've been here for at least 8 years. I have many gray hairs, and part of that is just because of the way that these two teams, right, they're evenly matched. They're going to square off against each other multiple times throughout their career, and you're going to see these clashes happen just like this. Now you're going to be putting the eyes on Taulik. You have the repulsor. You can put some work in. You know that you're going to be, or at the very least, they're going to be hearing you, so you just play that to your advantage in a solid play ball. If the player tries to challenge up on high, you repulse them off the map. They're not going to give you that opportunity to do so, and the problem now for Native Red is that they're going to have 3 players down here, and they have to respond, and Oxygen have map presence.
Yeah, it's great situational awareness. Native Red were able to play that ball off the map, but the problem is everything is defensive. Everything is reactionary. They're adapting.
They're not controlling the game.
Still setting the pace.
Yeah.
And you can't allow Oxygen to run amok so far on the map. Look at the scoreboard once again. It is not in favor of Native Red. Native Red, normally the most aggressive team that we have in the league. They need to get into their offense.
Yeah, they really have to here. Big double kill there for Collect, taking out Manny and Druck, and the damage has certainly been done, but Soul Snipe is able to bring that ball out. But look at that, he juggles the ball, but he misses the next pickup. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but even then, I'm sure he's kicking himself because you want to try and bring that ball over to the gold side of the map. Beautiful nade placement, though, from Soul Snipe's going to take out that player, but then Collect, he collects yet another kill. Hate to pull a Tony and take that pun, but, you know, kind of felt a little gully there.
Well, that's why they call him Collect. He collects skulls as souvenirs. He's like in a horror movie. I don't know what's wrong with him. It never says. But it's a good time on the board. If Native Red don't get out of his hands, it might be it. He's about to go for the juke again, right to the middle of the map. Plays the ball, but it gets intercepted. Hold on, is it Friday or Sunday?
I don't know, but right now it's time for this team, for Oxygen to hold the ball, or excuse me, for Native Red to hold the ball. And this is a great position for Druck to be in here. He's going to get challenged by 3 players here from Oxygen. He has to do at least a little bit of damage to just try and prevent them from being able to move and not lose too much in the way of shields. Big damage being done, though. That is going to lead to some huge kills and allow this Native team to continue to accrue points.
Perfect Halo is what's necessary, and as of right now, Native Red seem to be playing it at the moment. They're holding on to their setup, slay after slay. Down go Oxygen Esports once again. Boom goes down, but Druck ends up being taken down himself, and now that's an opportunity for Oxygen to push through that perimeter, and that's what they're going to do.
He was playing that so well. He was reading every single movement that Oxygen was making out of that long haul every time to receive the player down low. Just goes to show how practiced Druck is at this moment. But now with Nemesis holding the ball, he's got the camo as well. Might as well. He can actually just hold this one off and defend it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds remaining, and that is going to be the game. Oxygen Esports are going to draw first blood in this BO5 as they go up 2-0. Native Red had an opportunity, Tony, but the problem was Oxygen had such a huge lead that they had to try and come back from. One mistake, one false move, and Oxygen were getting that dub.
I found it very interesting because I've seen people juggle flags. I've seen people juggle power weapons. I've never seen someone juggle active camouflage and the ball at the same time. He literally cycled that ball over toward the Bangler side.
Who was that? That was
Nemesis.
That was Nemesis. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but he actually got certified as a professional juggler.
Oh my gosh.
He did. It's very true. Yeah, no, went to clown college and everything, just like me.
We were in the same circus, but I'm a certified clown.
Yeah.
He's a certified juggler.
That's right. And that's typically how it goes. Man. Way to go into that one. Way to lean into it. I appreciate it. All right, let's go into our series layout here. Slayer Aquarius, with the way Druck is playing, Tony, I don't know. I kind of like this Aquarius Slayer for Native Red.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing the Native Red, they love Aquarius. They love the map. And I think they're going to find massive success. But I will say, Oxygen look good. And I think
they do. Collect is doing work.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with that.
And you guys got the chance to talk to Collect a little bit. You said they were going over a lot of film review, really changing the pace at which they want to play, really trying to turn their weaknesses into strengths, and it works. Oddball is not one of their favorable game types. However, they come out hot in that game number 1. And in game number 2, they're looking good. They have the momentum.
Yeah, actually, Collect said they scrimmed everyone besides Optic, which I thought was interesting, that they did not get a chance to scrim Optic because not
too much green.
I wonder if it was because Optic doesn't want to give too much away, which obviously makes a lot of sense, or was it because having talked to like Ace, for example, he was telling me like getting scrims with a lot of the top 4 teams, they're already pre-scheduled. It's very hard to do, but I have to wonder: do people fear Oxygen? You know, if you're not getting a scrim against Optic.
I'm gonna be honest, I think it's the exact opposite.
Really?
I don't think Optic respect Oxygen.
Oh, damn.
I think they say, Oxygen, if you want to be on our level, if you want to get this practice, you're gonna have to come and improve yourself. And what better time to do it than on the world stage right now?
Hey, you know, I do not disagree with you, Tony. We're into the action here in map number 2. And a sneak king kill for Druck. My boy's on fire right now. And look at this collapse that's actually going to come through for Native Red, trying to put this pressure in the back, but great use of the dynamo nades to just stop that push, and an even better grenade to shut down Druck in what was surely looking to be a devastating push that would not have panned out for Oxygen, but great use of utility there, and a huge win as well for Triton after getting cleaned up.
Great plays coming out of Native Red, but Oxygen really starting to answer back, try and get himself 1 kill. Druck gonna try to get one on the utility side. The assist does end up coming into Native Red. Lives to fight another day, but where did that Dynamo Grenade come from?
Yeah, and the Dynamo Grenade, or as sure as he likes to call them, the Sizzle Sticks. They get a lot of use on this map. It's such a great clearing utility that you can pick up and just wipe out an area, be able to just tick away a few extra bits of shield away from your opponent, or clean up kills for players that are one-shot. It even gives you an opportunity to check corners as well. You cannot talk about Aquarius without talking about the effectiveness of those dynamo nades, which are basically a power weapon that come up every few seconds.
Do not sleep on the value of the dynamo grenades, otherwise you'll get put to sleep.
Yeah.
Bone gonna try to make his way over toward the P side. There is 2 members up high. A couple down low here. Can he get the flank off? Talik, first couple shots go in. Bone now gonna be forced to back down. Talik drops down as well. What goes up must come down, and now Bone with the P side control, looking to get in position for active camouflage.
Everything that Oxygen are doing on this push is just stellar, top to bottom. Whether it's Boehm backing away from fights or just going in to help out his teammates, right? He's giving him the intel, letting him set up. He knows he has the assist from his teammate there, and he does get cleaned up, but I do like the fact that he was just looking to play his life and play the position. That actually is going to lead to Oxygen being able to obtain that power item, which was massive for them to be able to hold here, and just keep it away from Native, because I think if Native are able to get those, that is where they start to really turn the tides in this series.
A lot of people think Halo's all about that raw skill, raw ability, and it is to a certain extent, but it's also about that positioning, that awareness, and obviously they have it. But now with 2 down for Native Red, Oxygen look to gain position themselves, looking to gain advantage on the map. Triton now going to stay alive on this utility side. Oh, so important. The rest of Oxygen now pushing up. They're looking to trap Native Red.
Yeah, and if they can get the players in a position, it will work out. But Native Red see that there is going to be an opening, so they do manage to get out of there here. Nemesis down low. Very well done as he's like trying to clear up this kill at the bottom side of the map here, but finally is going to get taken out, and 3 players are going to be down for Oxygen Esports. Let's actually see how they are going to come back into this game as they're down by a few kills here on Aquarius.
Check one.
T1 on shot, they're court.
No, it's just me and you.
I'm
gonna have to try to get out.
Stuck.
Yeah.
They're nading me court, I think.
Ping. Peek two. I'm going on car 3.
Do we can to get out of the flag.
Walk car 3.
He's straight now, P1, Mikey.
Car 3.
Fell
Walk on car
court,
3.
he fell court.
On shot. I'm dead.
Playing mid.
Live.
Playing pink now.
Our connector weak. Connector and car jump.
You're alone.
I'm for P-Glass, Manny. P-Glass weak, Manny.
P-Glass, turn
Oh,
around.
turn around.
P-Door to them.
Dude,
Manny's
yeah.
one shot.
Another one. He has thrust. Once you break, your court. Live.
Watch out, engine.
These shrooms.
Camo's at 5. Camo's at 5.
One shot Jen.
I'm pushing him.
Our P-Door,
in.
turn around.
I'm already.
P-Door need help.
Two P-Door.
Car 3
now.
Camo's up.
P2, Manny, 1. I'm dead.
Push up Manny, P2.
P2 somewhere.
Camo's still up.
Push me. I'm X.
They're going.
Alright, live.
Car 3. They're connector now.
It just got Camo. Nice, got one.
Watch out, they're connector.
You're dead. Live.
Camo down, they're connector.
P-Doors.
Live.
Yellow engine. He's high. He's connector. Going
He
connector.
naded me.
One shot. Two B Jen. They're
Need help.
one shot
Hourglass.
Camo.
Both absolute.
Hopefully Jen, one shot.
I'm my X
We're 3
right
dead.
now. Talik, bottom engine.
I got pink towards your bum.
It's no wonder Oxygen Esports are attached to the Patriots in some way, shape, or form, because they're talking and walking like champions. You're from New York. That means you love Boston teams, right?
How dare you? That's number 1. Number 2, you know what though? I do want to say, in that listening, something that really caught my attention was the fact that there was at times a little bit of confusion, right? A little bit of confusion, a little bit of uncertainty. And I think you got to give credit to Native Red, because that aggression, the way that they're keeping up the pace throughout the entirety of the series is the reason why we're seeing the scoreline where it is right now. Between these 2 teams, these Slayer games, when one team starts to peel away, it's very hard for you to try and come back.
It's a fine line between giving too much information and getting like frantic, and sometimes can get to that point. As Tyler taking down Nemesis over toward the mid-map, switching gears over toward Triton. Gonna get his way to the utility side. Only 5 more kills needed by Native Red. Triton going in for the challenge. Snipes that soul real quick. As Triton gains control of the utility side. Now going to try to push up Oxygen Esports. Not out of it just yet, especially with Triton playing like this. It ends up getting himself a double kill, taking down 2 more. Native Red on black screen here. The other half of them trying to accumulate off the spawn. Oxygen are gaining a lot of control.
Yeah, they are, and Triton's going to need some help here in a moment, because he can't keep doing this on his own, and that is exactly what ended up happening here. He was in a position to be able to be effective, but he knew that he was going to be running into a few players there from Native Red, and that is the reason why they walk away 50-39 in a real strong Slayer game. And that's what I said. For the Slays, the BRs are true for Native Red. They're hitting those shots. I feel very good about them in the Slayers. They got to button that up, though, when they go into the OBJ.
Yeah, I've known Native Red for quite some time now, and one thing that's about them is they're resilient.
Yeah.
They really are. I don't think Native Red have ever had 2 bad games in a row. Never.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
He wrote everything down on his hand, His hand actually is a computer. It's an iPad. It's where he plays Marvel Snap. So the thing is, though, here's the thing. Native Red does such a brilliant job of really getting into the face of their opponent. Yes. There were a few times, right, where Oxygen tucked away in the back of the base, right, and then they would have to try and find a way to respond, and then Oxygen would do the same thing, but no one from Oxygen was there to actually be there to help out, right? Yeah, that one play with Triton where he had pushed into blue util. He had no help. He had no assistance. There was another play where I think it was toward the mid game where Oxygen had Native Red pinned in the back of their base, and then you just see all the blue players just slowly but surely just make their way out of the front of the map there, front of the base. So it's like you have to find ways to shut that down. You have those opportunities, and I think they'll go back and watch this game and be like, damn, we really did kind of screw the pooch here. We would have been able to like win this one outright had we been able to position ourselves a little bit better.
It's funny because one thing I always compliment EU United is their ability to find the time to avoid confrontation, but Native Red, they headbutt you. They
really
get
do.
right in. 14 kills, 11 assists out of Druck, absolutely
But
insane.
look at Collect. How often do you see Collect at 6 kills, 13 deaths, at a -5? And I'm curious to see what Collect's damage was, because I think that is probably going to be a little bit more telling here, and we do get it. And yeah, he was contributing shots, and it feels like everyone was doing around the same amount of damage here. But, you know, for a player like Collect, when he's fragging, when the kill column is very high for him, he gets that confidence, he keeps moving, he keeps shooting, and he becomes more and more of a threat as the game goes on. So you'd really want to see Collect, even though he was effective with his damage, you want to see him just get a little bit more in the kill column.
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to watching Collect and Triton, especially going into Bizarre CTF
Oh
our next
boy,
game.
we could be going to distance here, man.
I want to see them playing together because Triton really plays that back row really well. So if he allows Collect to go in front of him, put down massive amounts of damage, and Triton just picking them off one by one, that can be the slays they're looking for. That can be that 1-2 combo they're looking for to push up and get those flags Bizarre. Bizarre is the hardest map in Halo Infinite to cap 1 flag, let alone 5.
Yeah, and as we saw yesterday, what was it? The oh boy, it was the Space Station Complexity game. Oh no, Space Station. But no, it was Complexity. When they played Complexity, we saw that happen yesterday, right? Where you think, okay, we're gonna have a flag lead. We come back, we get this cap, but to just get 2 flags back to back is so hard to do. So you cannot put yourself in a position where the other team goes up 2-0. It is going to be so challenging because all they have to do at that point is just play defensively, not turtle, but play defensively and just continue to just put the onus on you to have to push up, which plays right into their hand.
I think it almost sounds like a cliche at this point, but Halo Infinite obviously is being played through the sandbox. Power weapons are so important. But a map like Bizarre that's so stalematey.
Feels like the map positions are more important on this map than the power items. And I know that saying with rockets on there, and so most times when people get rockets, they can't even get past, the middle of the map. It's like very rare you see the rockets make its way over the flag, right? And then, you get the overshield. And maybe the overshield could do something, but with everyone just focusing right at the overshield, there's just nowhere for that player to go, right? So you got to get some creativity here for both of these teams to try and see if they can break these setups that, both of them are very prepared for.
Yeah, I'm going to find it very interesting on the starting strat, where there's a lot of resource on the map, and then also the 6-minute mark, because you can't hyper-focus on one, like the overshield, like you said.
Yeah.
At the 6-minute mark, you're going to see overshield, shotgun, rockets, even a couple of dynamo grenades coming up. So off the starting strat and on the 6-minute mark, I would watch out for how many resources on the map and how they're able to dedicate their own numbers in order to control all of them. Because maybe that's what they need, is more resources, more power, and more pushes.
And you had actually mentioned about what is Collect going to do here and what is going to be his role, but I'm also looking to see what Boam's going to do. It seems like Boam's been really focused on just playing the objective for his team, and how is he going to be working in tandem with Collect in those situations, because they are going to have to be mindful of the fact that when they push in for flag, they need to have players hanging back. That's when you're going to be looking for Triton. But on the flip side to that, I'm really looking for a guy like Druck on Native Red to be the space creator here, because he has that hot hand. So just let him go nuts, because if he's able to do that, man, it becomes a problem for Oxygen, as we saw on Aquarius.
It's so crazy because normally Talik is that leading slayer on Native Red, but Druck is coming in hot. If him and Talik catch fire at the right time, Oxygen Esports, you are going to be in trouble.
And I kind of feel like they did. I feel like they did in Aquarius, right? They look great. So if they keep doing that, oh boy, we could potentially be seeing Native Red go up 2-1 here. But what is going to be the opening strat? What is going to be the game plan here for both teams? We, of course, don't have to wait too long as we're jumping right into the action. And we're starting things off with Nemesis out of the break. And I do like that he's trying to prioritize getting the Dynamo nades and just finding out where these players are going to be located. But look at this push here from Soul Snipe and Druck. Druck just puts presence on the map like no one else, and he is doing work.
Double push on the Native Red. Looks like it's going to work. 3 down for Oxygen Esports, and now Druck gets his overshow, gets a grapple. He wants to get right into the action. Doesn't have the exact help
What
he's
is he
looking for,
doing?
but still able to take down one. Eventually, Druck goes down, and the rest of Native Red, though, still have an opportunity to push up off of that pressure he created.
Yeah, exactly. They really do. And look, this push for the flag is pretty dead, but you do have Oxygen tucked away in the back of the base. Big kill there with the Bulldog. And you have to anticipate the player by pillars who's over there is more than likely going to have that shotgun if no one from your team has been able to go and obtain that pseudo power weapon, if you will. I actually really like that nade too from Nemesis, anticipating someone was going to be dropping down because they do know that there is potentially going to be this push. Problem is the player never bit, and now he's getting shot around, so he's right back where he started.
Taking damage left and right. Somehow Nemesis able to stay alive and goes to the
It's impressive.
skewers. Like a little rat, gonna sneak around, gets himself over toward the tunnel side. Now right back up, doing damage. Taulik ends up being the first one to go down. Eventually
4 down.
he falls, and so do 4 members of Oxygen Esports.
Yeah, 4 down, a big opportunity. But as we had talked about yesterday, if anyone had tuned in to watch the play-in matches, Bazaar is the type of game that it's played in phases. You get, you know, your first fight, if you will, where you're trying to clear out of your base, and then, you know, or rather the mid area of the map. Then you fight inside of the flag area, and then there's the fight that happens outside of that as you make your way mid-map. So it's really cyclical in that manner where you're just constantly going to be fighting, and that's why it's so difficult to capture a flag here on this map.
It's a chess game, and if you're playing checkers, you're playing the wrong game here. Druck right up toward the mid side, gonna drop that flag, relayed over toward the teammate.
What
He
a
does
shot.
work. Able to take down Bohm, and right over toward the Rocket side he goes. That's gonna be the first flag cap in favor of Native Red. Druck gonna try to keep some kind of map control over toward the mid map, thinking one step ahead.
Exactly. And this is the reason why I wanted to see Druck in this position rather than Taulik, because he is at 10 kills right now. They have a freaking flag cap, and Manny hasn't gotten a single frag yet, but it doesn't matter because Druck is basically playing around this map like no one can stop him. This dude is here to win a world championship.
Druck is slaying enough for 2 players right now. Manny, don't worry, you're good. You don't even need a kill. Just let Druck run amok as he gets away with the Bulldog right down toward the bottom mid side. There's a player over toward the base, but he finally finds him. It's gonna be Collect. Collect grapples around the corner, somehow gets the melee. Beautiful play by Collect.
Yeah, this has just been a very strong start for Native Red. Let's jump into the comms with an Astro listening with Native Red to hear how they are going to try and get back into this one. Let's listen.
Our palm wants to grapple.
Guys, there's a guy or Ellie. I don't know where he's going.
Yeah, Arley. Arley's older.
Our palm weak.
Arley's older.
Top and bottom palm.
Hey, where's the rocket, guys?
One shot her palm. I'm watching.
Guys, 22 of them. They're all one shot.
back leg. Yo, RBR jump, Mikey.
Bottom palm, 1 shot. Let's go.
RBR jump. Two bottom palm. Okay.
They ran in.
One hit a palm. One hit a palm. He's still one shot of palm. I don't know where he went.
Ducker's got the
Yeah.
exit.
Watching this.
Palm still.
I killed one. More. Nemesis.
20 seconds. That's fine. Give the OS.
Okay.
Yeah, in a flank, guys. One shot.
Yeah.
After the flank.
Flag. 1 shot.
Looking. One shot back left.
I'm trying to kill him. Dead.
OB guys. Yeah, one shot left.
Yo, on Drew. Grapple.
Top rocks. One shot top rocks. One shot top rocks.
Got one, got
And
I can't. Locker still. I've done most. Johnny's on it.
Alright, he popped
It's fine. Yeah, he popped
I
it.
comboed him.
He's out.
Fuck him up.
Yeah, they're palm.
Grapple.
They're palm and locker.
Grapple to our alley, guys.
Alright,
Grappling our bar now.
100, double this.
He's with you.
One shot in the locker. Easy.
And one jet flank jump.
Talk about turning a bad situation into a good one, because you heard the comms. They wanted to go after that overshield. Oxygen ended up grabbing it, but nope, they had the green gun waiting for that pop and drain the overshield right away, Tony. They gave him no room for quarter at all. Beautiful stuff.
Seemed a little too early for a victory screech, but
I love it, man.
says Native Red.
That's what we do it for, man. Pop-offs, I'm here for pop-offs any day of the week.
Soul Snipe Plasma Pistol and Dynamos in hands.
Ooh,
That's
that's
getting
good.
audio tick, but really that damage coming in, slowing down the enemy. And with Native Red, they gotta speed things up. Soul Snipe up high. Shots start to ring out, right back in for the challenge. This man fears nothing. Half the members of Oxygen end up going down. The third one gonna fall. That means another flagpole for Native Red.
Native Red look very good right now. This flagpole could be fruitful for them. Soul Snipe's taking some damage from behind. He won't be able to bring the flag with him inside of the library, but that's going to be okay, though, at least for the time being, because he has teammates that are going to be supporting him around, though. Big fight here, potentially, as Nemesis is looking to get the kill, but it does not work out in his favor. Soul Snipe finally going to get cleared out there, but it just goes to show the amount of effort that was put into Oxygen to have to shut down that player, because they know that if he stayed alive, he might have been able to make that flagpole happen.
Native Red had the mid-map control for quite a bit, but now with them going 3 down, Oxygen Esports look to push up and take it right back. Soul Snipe somehow makes his way over towards the Rocket side. Talik not able to stay alive over toward the truck side, so both teams really fighting for the 50% portion of the map.
Yeah, you know, when you're at that, you know, the midfield, if you will, that's really where things are going to get real scrappy. Oh, Druck. I thought you almost had a back whack there, but it's okay. That overshield player ended up going down. And in fact, that nade might end up doing the business for him there. And that actually is what ends up happening. 2 players down as Soul Snipe collects himself a double kill. Nemesis looking for Soul Snipe. He did get the call that he was going to be tucked away in the corner, but Soul Snipe managed to break away. He has to fight out of his base now, but the pressure's starting to come from Native Red as they're looking to mount this one. They want to see if they could just push them further back into their base, maybe even take a few of those dynamo nades and put them to good use, which they do manage to dump one inside of the den here right by BR, but this isn't really going to amount to all that much, and damage is certainly going to be done on the outside, which is going to allow Nemesis to be able to creep forward to the midfield.
Just a little over 30 kills on the side of Oxygen Esports at the moment. Meanwhile, Native Red, 31 kills, single-handed, just between Soul Snipe and Druck. They're almost able to outslay Oxygen Esports as a duo. Native Red really showing off in the slays department. The reason why they have a 1-0 lead, 5 minutes on the clock. Can Native Red hold on to it?
And okay. I was about to say, I was getting a little uncomfortable there, Tony. But you know what, though? This again just kind of goes back to that first game, right? Where it shows how when you have like a moving objective, right, or like a hill or something like that, you know, I feel like Oxygen have great team play, so that's why they're able to find those wins where they can. But in a game like CTF, where you really are just going to be prioritizing those slays time and time again, and it really does feel like Native Red have their number, and this almost feels a little desperate here from Oxygen to just make a play happen. But the entirety of Native Red are going to be off the spawn behind the flag, and they're already going to be inside of VR for that return. So really, that flagpole just didn't really amount to anything.
Yeah, sometimes with those sneaky flagpoles, you want to at least use it as bait, try to get some kind of value, at least a kill or 2 off of it, but they got nothing. Return comes in, no map control whatsoever. I believe I did see an overshield come up. I'm not sure exactly what happened to it. I see Nemesis push them over to the Rocket side. Excellent damage onto Bohm, dropping down. Can't quite find the kill, but that's a spike grenade over toward the top and the bottom, and somehow Bohm lives.
Yeah, Bohm did not go for it. I do wonder, you know, how he was able to get out of that one. But regardless of the fact, though, right, like Oxygen now, they're forced to have to go back here to their base because they know that they simply just do not have, you know, that map positioning, right? Or excuse me, it was inside of the enemy base. But regardless of the fact, they just did not have map positioning. He was looking around the whole time to just try and find a target, but he didn't have any intel. He had no knowledge of where those players are going to be.
Now Native Red getting all the intel they need to get aggressive. Oxygen Esports do get a bit of a god spawn over toward the palm tree side, and with that, the collapse comes in. Collect picks up a beautiful double kill. Tryon now going toward the mid-map. Dynamo grenade should finish him from the grave, and it does. 3 down go Native Red. Oxygen Esports, this is your opportunity, but you need those rockets. You need the boom booms.
Yeah, the rockets would be very nice to get here, and Collect is actually going to go and grab that. So with that rocket is going to come a kill, but that's really all that's going to come from that. Collect goes down. Now as we shift our attention over here to Soul Snipe for Native Red coming out of his base. We're right back where we started here. Midfield control, Oxygen pinned away in the back of their base, trying to look and make a play happen here, but the immediate pickup and cleanup by Native Red. Manny was there to help out his teammate. And this, again, is just going to continue to be a problem. You have 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock to work with, Tony. You don't have a lot of time, but the saving grace here is that Native Red is only up by 1, so you can tie this up. 2 minutes is enough to tie up a game.
Time really becomes a factor. Hopefully, Oxygen Esports are practicing their 2-minute drills because they're going to have to make something happen. Native Red do end up going 3 down. Manny, final player alive somehow.
Big kill.
And not able to burn off that overshield, so Oxygen should be able to snatch that up. We should see Oxygen at least claim some kind of BR control, but they're going to need at least 1 more, if not 2 more rounds of Slays. Phase 1 begins.
Oh, I do like this angle that Bohm was looking to put to use here. Here comes the collapse now from Oxygen Esports as Native Red is going to be tucked away in the back of the base. Soul Snipe, though, with a massive win, actually gets 2 kills to keep them in this, and it's 4 down for Oxygen. They were pushing into the Native Red base, but the defense, Tony, from Native Red was stupendous.
How demoralizing must that be? You do almost everything right to get those Slays, to get into
You literally have them pinned.
get the overshield, and you're not able to execute. Once again, Native Red's defense proves to be better than Oxygen's offense, and the swing game number 3. I'm not sure Oxygen can recover.
No, you have 1 minute to work with here, and as it stands, Soul Snipe and the boys are just running amok all over this map. He is going to get shut down, though, but every single time a kill is traded, it is going to hurt Oxygen more and more. You need the numbers to make the push. You have to make a play right now. But when Druck is just running around the map willy-nilly, just waiting for players to just go into positions, that's when you know this team is playing with confidence.
He's doing whatever he wants. The man looks way too comfortable. You gotta try to force them to play off of their back foot. You can't let Native Red just do whatever they mean. Druck over toward the bull, has the Bulldog over toward the bottom inside, ends up putting it to work finally. Took about a few seconds to shoot that one, but finally Bohm ends up going down. And just 21 seconds on the clock. Don't want to count Native Red out just yet, especially because Collect has a flag.
Here we go.
They have Native Red 2 down. This might be their final opportunity
This is it.
to get a flag in. They do have sudden death to work with.
This is it, but they have to be careful here because he's going to dump that flag off. You got 5 seconds remaining, and he's going to be able to win the commando fight. And he does have a teammate maybe to pick up that flag. It's actually, it seems like Manny was there for the stop. Nemesis is going to go down. Druck is going to be on the prowl. Bohm's right in front of the flag. Bohm's going to cut around the corner, but he's got to grab the flag to keep this one going, though. Bohm's going to get cleaned up. 2 players from Native Red are going to be out and about here, but the rocket comes through, does not work as the last player drops down. That's Druck, and that is going to be Native Red winning the game with only 1 flag cap. But boy, oh boy, that 1 flag is all they needed.
Oxygen Esports did everything they could to try to get that flag through the double doors. Sadly, again, Native Red's defense comes out on top. The return comes in. Native Red up 2-1 and 1 game away from taking the series.
And Oxygen has to be kicking themselves there, Tony, because the times that they had positioning and opportunity, it was simply just Native Red's defense. They were a wall. They did not allow them to move. They gave them nothing to work with, and every single time they came around the corner, Native Red was already peppered with a bunch of shots. So there simply just wasn't an opportunity for Oxygen to get in there. That's nuts to just get stopped like that. That just goes to show that right now Native Red's hot. Those BRs are hot.
They were, and Native Red come out on top here, 2-1. Just a 1-0 win in CTF Bizarre, but only 1 flag is good enough to get them that win on that one. Strongholds, Streets, both of these teams bread and butter.
Yeah.
Native Red really showed us in the beginning of the season how strong of a Strongholds team they are. But Oxygen Esports might be able to match them with that intensity, match them with that aggressiveness. My only problem is that when Native Red are looking this clean, when they have so much energy shifting toward their favors, they're almost unstoppable.
Yeah, and also, even if you win this, you're still going to have to deal with a hot Native Red on Slayer Livefire. So Oxygen, really, this is it. This is the time. This is what you prep for. You knew that this was going to be your first match.
Yes.
So you knew that you were going to be facing off a team that you were evenly matched against, but you have the capability to be able to win this. They can win this objective game because in this instance, positioning is going to be very important, scrapping up time, and that tends to be an issue with Native Red where they want to try and collect as much objective time as possible, but they really can't because Oxygen do such a brilliant job of forcing them to have to just play in areas where they don't necessarily want to play. That's what happened in the Oddball game. Let's see if it happens here on Strongholds.
When Oxygen plant their feet, get into the defensive stance. Sometimes Native Red might be able to get caught off guard. In strongholds, they're going to have to play through that double cap. They're going to have to stop Native Red from pushing in for the triple, because you know that's what they love to do, as Nemesis finds himself a big kill defending the A side of the map, but the double cap still works in favor of Native Red. Can Oxygen get in the base?
Now, the name of the game here is going to be hold 2 objectives, you collect points. Hold 3, you get even more. It's as simple as that. No objectives held, you ain't earning any points, even if you just have 1. So you have to get in there and disrupt the setups of these teams as soon as you possibly can, and that's exactly what Oxygen do here, and they are going to be able to get a trip cap, and this actually is going to be a trip cap that they can hold for at least a few more seconds. A should be okay, never mind. They're going to stop that, so the spawn's going to be happening towards C more than likely? No, it's A again, so they end up getting the PD spawn, which means Bump's going to be putting in some work right now.
Beautiful play by Oxygen Esports. They went from 1 to 3 in an instant, but as I say that, Native Red able to spawn over to the PD side. They don't get punished. They're able to break out of their spawn, and now B should shift hands. A the same. Oxygen, they had the setup. Now they have to break Native Reds.
Yeah, they really have to. But they also need to get this break here. They have to reset it, and they do. That's huge. He also has the Bulldog inside, but he can't win the fight, though. A huge win there by Nemesis is going to keep this one going and keep the potential cap happening for Native Red. But I have to give credit where credit is due to Oxygen. They are winning these critical fights when they absolutely need them.
3 down go Native Red. They have to stay alive if they want any chance of recapturing some of these bases, because the lead is starting to grow. Rockets are coming up. Soulsnipe moving so slow, it looks like he's standing still. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, it seems like we may have had a technical issue there, so we'll get the read on it and see what ends up happening with the admins and a result from that as the players have stopped moving. Yeah, in any case, so I mean, we're reflecting on what had happened at the beginning of that game. You still got to give credit to Oxygen Esports, because they had some really strong holds in strongholds, but they really were playing well, right? Like they were able to break a setup from Native Red, and also they were able to hold a trip cap for a substantial amount of time. But yeah, it seems like there might be some technical issue here, and the admins are going to sort this one out.
I love how Nemesis has no mercy whatsoever. Normally, when the team, enemy team goes idle, you know, you stop killing, you stop shooting. Nemesis like, nah.
Keep playing until, you know, keep playing until you're, you know what's going on, right? I mean, the onus is on Native Red to have the admin stop the game. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Obviously, I don't think that this is going to be how this one plays out. But yeah, again, that was just a really strong start. I kind of feel for Oxygen there, because I do think that they were getting a little hot, and that is what they needed in order to make this happen. And actually, funny enough, they have been told to keep playing, but now we don't know what's actually going on here. So I don't know, man. This is going to be quite interesting situation. Don't even find ourselves in.
Yeah. Okay. The game end is coming in, rightfully so.
I'm about to say Nemesis was stat padding hard. You know what I mean? Like when we go back and look at the numbers, Nemesis with those 13 kills, no deaths, he's all like vibing and chilling, and everyone else is like, how did he play so well that game? But we'll get the official word. Don't worry, folks. But yeah, anyway, strong start for Oxygen regardless of what's going on stage.
And they needed that. I mean, we're going into game number 4 again. Native Red, 1 game away from taking that series. Oxygen Esports, they desperately need this game number 4. They needed to go into a game number 5 and hope history doesn't repeat itself, because again, back at Orlando, back in pool play, Native Red were able to get a huge game 5 win over Oxygen Esports.
Yeah, and the thing is that even with that win, they still didn't come out of pools, because all the other games shaked out in a completely different way, right? Oxygen were dominating, so the map differential, it didn't really matter. The map differential favored Oxygen. That's why they have the higher seed here. Native Red certainly disappointed about that, because, you know, that's not a situation you necessarily want to find yourself in. Kind of like the situation we find ourselves in right now. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break, find out what's going on over at the stage, and when we return, we're going to have the conclusion of Oxygen Esports versus Native Red. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to the Halo World Championship here as we have Oxygen Esports versus Native Red. Native Red up 2-1. Now, we did have a tech issue that happened at the start of the game. Both teams agreed to a full reset replay, so here we are. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Tony Rose, aka Why Not Be Casting, on the call here. And so far, it has been pretty decent for Oxygen, picking up right where they left off after that reset.
Yeah, big start for them, able to steal away that rockets and the Stalker rifle. Now you see Native Red trying to steal away A, but here comes Collect. Woo! Able to get the kill, but not before taking A. So a little bit of a restart here for Oxygen Esports. Native Red will strike first blood.
Well, what I am a little concerned about here is the fact that the Stalker rifle is going to be all the way over toward Alley. So, you know, Collect and needs to hold this because you really don't want a weapon like this to be on this side of the map. That's why it spawns over toward the tram. Yeah, you have a little bit of that high ground, but you're able to do some damage with the lane control if you give up that Stalker. So Collect's gonna have to play this one intelligently. There is gonna be a member of Native Red circling about, and that is gonna give up the Stalker, and that is gonna give up control of A yet again to Native.
Oxygen Esports end up going 3 down. Native Red gonna take advantage of that. Right into the AB setup they go, and now the question is, will they move in for the trip, or will they try to lock Oxygen over toward the seaside spawners?
This is a deadly combination. The Bulldog along with the Stalker rifle overlooking A. You can actually rotate over and help out the lane toward B. You also can put down a decent amount of shots on the Cafe side as well. You just got to hope that he's going to have some help there. And look at the shots from Soul Snipe. Bowen basically is just completely useless in this situation. Ends up getting cleaned up though. Watch out though, because Druck is going to be dangerously low, trying to win this fight outright, and ends up getting the trade, which is pretty big.
Big trade coming in out of Druck as once again Oxygen Esports and the falling 3 down. Druck wins that 1v1 gunfight. It wasn't ready for the second one. Still gets the trade. And now Manny looking to pick up the pieces here. Rockets coming up.
Oh,
A little bit of a friendly nade, and Soul Snipe is probably yelling at him right now because Manny wins the gunfight, gets the reversals, can't find the rockets, and come on, Manny, what are you doing?
So the reason why that ended up happening is because the blast shield was placed right in front of the rockets, but that nade was tossed, and unlike bullets that do go through the blast shield, the nades, the physical object, do not. So it stops right at the wall, and it ended up hurting his teammate big time. And that could come back to bite them in the butt later on. It's something that they're going to have to be, well, in fact, it seems like it's biting them in the butt right now.
Well, 125 to 0 run in favor of Native Red. So you know what? I guess that had to be purposeful. I mean, they clearly he named himself.
Oh wait, that was a Native Red.
Oh yeah.
So you know, it
Native
actually
Red are still winning, so something's
maybe it
working
didn't
right,
happen.
but they did go 3 down, and so do Oxygen Esports. Want to see if Oxygen can take advantage.
Yeah, so sometimes things happen and you think it's going to have a ripple effect, right? Like a butterfly effect of the game. And ends up not necessarily being the case. But that being said, though, as of right now, it is going to be Oxygen Esports looking to add a little bit more to their score here. And they're going to need a lot because as it stands right now, they're down by a substantial amount. There are no rounds here. You get to 250, you win the game. So you cannot give up on these hills at all. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at a Native Red 3-1 victory.
And Oxygen fighting for their series life. We know how important pool play is. Someone's going to get eliminated. Somebody's going to start in elimination bracket, and 2 will start in the winner's bracket. Every single series counts. Manny's aware of it. That's why he's stalking with the Stalker rifle to get himself a big kill. Now moving up over toward the B side as Native Red want to claim control of this Bravo side of the map.
Yeah, I like this play for Manny, right? Check your corners, you know, because players can be lurking around. That Stalker's going to be devastating, though. Manny puts it to good use right in front, inside of the arcade, and if anyone wants to come out of PD, good luck, because you're going to be met with a Stalker right to the face. Rockets are going to be available as well, and just look at the way the Native Red, Tony, are just moving around the map without worrying about anything. They could go and get power weapons and not get challenged. That has been fascinating to watch Native Red control this one.
Rockets go in, 3 down for Native Red, but Manny's still able to find that kill with the Rockets. Now gonna put the Stalker rifle to work. Woo! That was a pivotal kill coming out of Manny right at Triton's throat with the foot on the neck of Oxygen Esports. No wonder they can't breathe.
Yeah, but even with all of that, though, they're losing players. Manny had to wait for those shields to come back in order to help out. He does have a teammate to help, though. Now, Triton's going to be the one that's in a bit of a pickle here because he's got 41% on that freaking Stalker rifle, and Manny in the tires position with this weapon has been clinical. There's been no options for Oxygen Esports, to try and push out of this because Native is just tagging him. As soon as he comes out, man, he's tagging him with shots.
Oxygen Esports, you need to figure something out right now. You need to break out of the seaside spawn. Native Red have been holding onto this double cap for too long. Find your perimeter kill and play through it. As I say, that Soul Snipe is going to be the first one to fall for Native Red. Nemesis will follow, but it looks like Oxygen found a hole in the defense, found the gap, and now looking to run through it.
Oh, no, but you might be getting to the point of no return here. And Oxygen, you're right, Tony. They need to find an answer. And at this point in time, you got to find that answer quickly because Native Red will win this game at this pace. Oxygen, though, are able to get A and C control. And as we look over to Triton's POV, he's going to go for this B flip. A is currently being capped. There are a bunch of members of Native Red circling around A. So the attack is going to come here toward B, and Triton's going to need some support.
Oxygen Esports able to play through the CH setup.
Big
and grab
win.
Bravo. Triton never misses a shot. Ends up getting himself a big perfect kill. Native Red find himself 2 down. Excuse me, about to be 3. A Soul Snipe somehow breaks out the window, ends up going down, and now we see Oxygen Esports moving in for a trip cap.
Very interesting. So Rockets have been tagged, so they know where that's going to be located. No one's going to be challenging this. A and B control now. C's going to get flipped. And this is working out so far for Oxygen. They're moving around the map. They're letting Native Red capture one of those home flags, and then they'll go and respond and grab another. Finally, though, I believe Triton is going to get taken down there in the middle of the map. The Rockets have been picked up by Native again. Is there one left in the chamber? No, instead it's just going to be that Bulldog. Druk looking to get away from this, and it's Native Red back in the driver's seat as they're finally going to cross that 200-point threshold.
GB, I was just about to say it wasn't over just yet, but as I thought it, Oxygen Esports ended up going 3 down. Native Red now into the double cap. They go. Druk with the Stalker rifle in hands, daring Oxygen Esports to push past the 50% portion of the map. Talik off the screen finds himself a kill. They try to find a flank over toward the B side, but the perfect once again from Druk. Watching every single angle on the map. When Native Red are playing like this, they are dangerous.
Yeah, it's very hard to stop, right? And honestly, I got to give a lot of credit to the Stalker rifle use here from Native Red. They take this weapon and they turn it into a power weapon. It does so much damage, and there's really no other option. Now, Native Red, they're going to lose control of B here. Druk is going to be watching this one, and they know that he's going to be watching this angle, so they have to try and reduce the effectiveness of this weapon as much as they possibly can. A big win there is going to be there for Collect. Maybe you can see some life out of them, and what's nice about Strongholds is that even though you are going to be down in this game, you can still win it if you, especially if you control a trip cap here. A big win there is going to come out. I believe that was going to be Taulik with a massive dub to just try and see if they can walk away with this win. That's going to be B flipped. You only have a few minutes or a few seconds left before this game is over, Tony.
Native Red were able to steal away Bravo, but Oxygen find the kill and then play right through it once again. So the double cap once again in favor of Oxygen Esports. Druk looking for the rat. All rats have to die. Triton ends up going down.
That's aggressive.
Well, I mean, even Master Splinter, he had to go too.
Damn, son, wasn't expecting that one. All right, A is going to get flipped for Native Red here. 237, 119. But C is going to get capped, which means that no score is going to be accrued here for Native Red. So they're still earning points, Oxygen, but the response is coming in from Native here. Triton with some big shots. He's able to get that kill. Watch out, though, for Soul Snipe as he goes in for the challenge, but Triton's going to have too much work in front of him. He has to hold B. He has to hold C. There's simply just going to be too much effort that needs to be expelled in order for him to try and walk away with these kills, but it does not happen. And as the flip comes through in A, they need to find a response right here, right now. But is anyone in a position to do so? 1 second remaining, and that is going to never mind. 249, and we do have B getting flipped here, but 2 players from Native Red, from Oxygen Esports are going to get cleared out of there. And ladies and gentlemen, with a 3-1 victory, Native Red walk away with the win. Huge performance from them. I was hopeful that after the reset that they were going to be in a in a good mindset, right? Things very clearly was not working out for them at the start of that last game, but it seems like Native Red were able to just find those solutions, and they walk away with this win.
Yeah, I don't even feel like Oxygen Esports were playing bad whatsoever. Like at
No,
one
not
point
at all.
we saw Triton over toward that driveway side, putting pressure on the C side, and then not getting tunnel vision. He pushes back towards Bravo. He's putting damage on multiple players, but with players to his right, to the left, Native Red, they were playing Triton in the middle, and eventually he
there
goes
was just
down
nothing he could do, right?
Yeah.
He was just
Tough.
left by himself in an open field with no real answers, no cover, no help. But that just goes to show you, man, Native Red, the way that they can play aggressive. And I really got to give a shout out about this whole series, man, Druck has been instrumental for that team. Just the amount of output that he had throughout the series, homie was slaying. He's having a great tournament. If he keeps playing like that, everyone needs to take notice of Native Red.
Druck has really found himself here in Worlds, man. This is where he thrives. When a crowd is on his side, when he's getting loud. You heard that and the listening earlier for Native Red, they were feeding off of that. Native Red 3-1 Oxygen Esports. That'll be the last time we see them right away. At one point, we're gonna be casting them playing against Optic Gaming as well. So it only gets harder from here, from one green team to another.
But you know what though? I think that Native simply have to play this game. They have to play this style against Optic. If they do, Optic might be in trouble. They have great Slayers on the green wall, and we know that they could very well walk away in this pool with sweeps across the board. But if there's one team, especially playing like this, that could cause an upset, that could disrupt this pool, it could be Native Red. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up,